So for full year 2021, so this is their full year guidance, AMD now expects revenue growth of approximately 50% over 2020, driven by the growth in all businesses, up from the prior guidance of approximately 37%. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. What is going on, investors? My name is Emmanuel, and AMD shareholders, we absolutely blew away Q1 2021. Our financial results have just been published right now, and I wasn't even going to do a video, but when I saw the first top line growth, as soon as I saw up 93%, I figured, yo, we are doing a video. So let's just review it together because this is phenomenal, okay? So AMD today announced revenue for the first quarter of 2021 of $3.45 billion, okay? Operating income is $662 million with a net income, this is insane, net income of $555 million, okay? And diluted earnings per share of 45 cents. On a non-GAAP basis, operating income was 762 million, net income was 642 million, and diluted earnings per share was 52 cents. Now let's have a look at the growth. Revenue, we're up 93% from a year-over-year perspective. Mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. From a quarterly perspective, we're up 6%, so we even grew amidst all of the recent announcements from Intel, Nvidia. There's been quite a few announcements this past quarter. We are still up 6% on the quarter, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Gross profit as well, we're up 94% in gross profit. Like, this is just crazy numbers. And from a quarterly perspective, we're up 9%. So again, we absolutely killed it. Gross margins were pretty much flat on the year. Operating expenses were up 45%. Again, from a quarterly perspective, we're up 5%. Operating income, we're up. Look at the operating income, for crying out loud, people. Look at this. We're up 274% in operating income from a year-over-year perspective. This time last year, we generated 177 million in operating income, but fast forward to Q1 2021, $662 million. I mean, I just don't really know at this point. You know, we're up 16% from a quarter-to-quarter basis. Come off it. This is insane. This is mind-blowing. Net income, we're up 243%, but net income actually took a decline. Oh, okay. So net income was down 69% from a quarter basis. So we didn't outperform our Q4 of 2020, okay, which resulted in our earnings per share being down 69%. Okay, and our earnings per share for year-over-year perspective, we're up 221%, which is not too bad, okay? But that is quite a significant reduction though from a quarterly basis. So this is all fresh, guys. I'm recording this live. This is my initial reactions. I haven't got anything pre-recorded, so bear with me, all right? But so far, this is incredible, okay? Okay, right, so that's the non-GAAP. Okay, so we have non-GAAP information. So let's see why we underperformed on a quarterly basis. Well, I wouldn't say underperformed. We did incredible. From a year-over-year perspective, you got to always compare the current quarter to the quarter last year. That will give you a bit more of an accurate reading. It might just be that we typically have stronger Q4s than Q1s in the first place, but nonetheless, we're still up 6%. Okay. Let's take a look at some of our highlights. So revenue was 3.4 billion, up 93% year over year and 6% quarter over quarter, driven by higher revenue in both. Okay, so the higher revenue was driven in both the computing and graphics and enterprises, embedded and semi-custom segments. Okay, so this is really where we saw the bulk of our revenue. So gross margins was 46%, which was flat year over year and up 1 percentage point quarter over quarter. Okay, the quarter over quarter increase was driven by the greater mix of Ryzen, Radeon, and EPYC processor sales. So this caused our increase for the quarter. Operating income was 662 million compared to operating income of 177 million a year ago. Again, just mind-blowing. And $570 million in the prior quarter. Non-GAAP operating income, okay, so we've been through that. Operating income improvements were primarily driven by higher revenue, okay, so higher revenue. All right, so that's to do with our top line. So net income was 555 million compared to net income of 162 million a year ago and 1.78 billion in the prior quarter, okay, which included an income tax benefit. All right, okay, so this is where we go. So the previous quarter, oh yeah, I remember that. Completely forgot about that. Sorry, my apologies. But yeah, net income benefit of 1.3 billion associated with a valuation allowance release. Non-GAAP net income was $642 million compared to net income of $222 million a year ago and $636 million in the prior quarter. So the income tax benefit was the reason why we are slightly skewed now from a quarter-over-quarter basis, okay? So even though we're down 69% on paper, that's because we had the income tax benefit from the previous quarter. So this is why it looks quite hefty, but in the long term, it's really nothing, okay? So income tax benefit, okay? So this is pretty much the bulk of the financials. Cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments were 3.12 billion at the end of the quarter. So if you look at our cash position from the previous quarter, we were sitting on 2.29 billion in total cash with total debt of $572 million, okay? Now fast forward to this quarter, our cash position has now increased to 3.12 billion at the end of the quarter, which is very good to see. We love to see it. Now let's take a look at their cloud performance. So leading cloud providers announced new and upcoming instances and solutions powered by the EPYC 7003 series processors, including Microsoft Azure, that's the HPV3, and also confidential computing VMS, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Tenant Cloud Instances, and Amazon's Web Services and Google Cloud. The AMD EPYC CPUs and AMD Instinct GPU accelerators are enabling powerful new solutions. And this is great news here. AMD customers are on track to increase the number of notebooks based on the AMD Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors and AMD's Ryzen Pro 5000 series mobile processors by 50% compared to the prior generation, as leading OEMs announced new systems for business, gamers, creators, and consumers. I was expecting to see a slowdown, but they've completely smashed my expectation out of the park. And so far, it's just an absolutely solid quarter. So let's take a look at their current outlook, okay? For the second quarter of 2021, AMD expects revenue to be approximately 3.6 billion, plus or minus $100 million, an increase of approximately 89% year over year, so slightly lower than 94% in this previous quarter, and 4% quarter over quarter, which is again just phenomenal growth. The year over year increase is expected to be driven by growth in all businesses, okay? In all businesses. The quarter over quarter increase is expected to be primarily driven by growth in data centers and gaming. I mean, we all know about the gaming industry absolutely taking off right now. AMD expects non-GAAP gross margin to be approximately 47% in the second quarter of 2021. So for full year, so this is their full year guidance. So for full year 2021, so this is their full year guidance. AMD now expects revenue growth of approximately 50% over 2020, driven by the growth in all businesses, up from the prior guidance of approximately 37%. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. No words. Wow. 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 50% growth. They've actually increased their guidance. Absolutely phenomenal. AMD just completely knocked it out of the park. Wow. Wow. Let's take a look at how we're looking after hours. So, okay, so we're on Yahoo Finance and we're currently, we're up 3% in after hours. So we're at $88, which is amazing because $85 has been a key multi-month level of resistance. All right, so as you can see, we've pretty much been ranging since August, okay? So we were at $85 there in August. We tested the resistance here and only pulled back. We broke it momentarily towards September and again pulled back below $85. We broke it again in October, again temporarily, and we saw a pullback. And towards the back end of last year, we actually did break through it quite convincingly in December, and then we set new highs at $97. But since the beginning of this year, we've pretty much downtrended. And even though we reported an exceptional quarter in January, we still saw the share price drop, and we dropped to lows of $73. And I started buying AMD heavy at $75 a share. And I remember telling you in my video, the stocks I'm buying during the crash, AMD was one of the stocks I was buying at $75, and we're now currently doing really well, and we're now up $88 in after hours. So I am absolutely blown away by this performance, and management ups guidance for the year, which is absolutely insane. I think this should be enough to keep us above $85. This resistance right here, hopefully this now becomes support and we can continue higher to retesting our highs at $98 a share. That's my expectations. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own due diligence. You know, this might not hold. We could continue lower and retest our support. Anything is possible in the short term, but I'm in this for the long term. So if you're an AMD shareholder, comment below what you thought of this quarter. Let me know, were you impressed? Were you not impressed? Were you expecting it? Was it in line with your expectations? For me, it blew all my expectations. And the fact that management have now upped guidance, I am even more bullish. And I hope, it's weird to say this, right? But I would love to see the share price drop so I can actually buy more, because I feel like I want to I just want to get more shares in. But that's all I had to say. I wanted to share my initial reaction with you guys regarding the Q1 performance. If you gained any value from this video, please make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.